Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Plays Bad End Theater. Let's get into it. We're gonna try and get all the rest of the endings and the true ending that I suspect exists today. Alright, so, we want to take a look at what ends we've got, right? So we're almost done with the underling. We have 2 out of 11 for the hero. Everything is fine. Overlord behavior possessive. Okay. Disloyal. Followers his way through the castle. Hero finds the maiden. Overlord is upset. Okay. Maiden, hero, go. Disloyal. Okay. We haven't unlocked some of these quite yet. Beautiful. Hungry. Okay. Let's do this one first, because this one seems pretty straightforward. Overlord begins her story. Overlord tries to get the underling to go back to work tyrant. Underling is hungry. Hero is dutiful. Alright, so hero is dutiful, and we're gonna make the underling hungry. Okay, and then for this it doesn't matter, but we're gonna... Okay, yup. Okay. Back to work. You woke to a huge commotion outside. The hero has shown up and started totally murdering your soldier. What the hell, guy? You rush out onto the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him very rudely, inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what the hell he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You're unable to defeat him. With a decisive swing, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be Overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. Use your thoughts as you are swallowed by darkness. Alright, conquered Overlord. Alright, let's go back. What else do we need? Got 4 of 10 here. Diplomatic. Overlord begins her story. Overlord lets the underling have the day off. Overlord allows the maiden to stay and chat. Diplomatic. Saves maiden as her own possessive. Okay. This is obviously if she lets her go. Okay, so this is hero is dutiful. Alright, but I need a couple things here if I'm gonna do that. Alright, let's see what else we got here. What is this one? Okay, so if he's diplomatic here, lets them go. Then we have disloyal. Alright, so we're gonna set him to diplomatic. Okay. Let the underling have the day off, allows the maiden to stay and chat. Diplomatic. Lets the maiden and hero go. And then we might be able, and then we're gonna shoot over here. Underling is disloyal. And we can get either this one or we get a new choice. Okay. Alright, so we need, have the day off, allows maiden to stay. Lets maiden and hero go. And then disloyal. Okay. We need you to be disloyal, and we need you to be diplomatic. Maiden's whatever for politeness. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a skip button. Okay, they get the day off. Should be fine. Skip. Let her stay. Okay, so we're gonna let her go. You're certain she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. Yeah, it's called healthy relationships. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down to the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. The room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underling barges in next, shouting that humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell at all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try and take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately all you do is sleep. Group demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A, and then suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. I love that transition. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. Hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something like this that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling whose traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying they were dragged into the plot, knowing that they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry they don't want to have to kill you. You feel almost sorry for them. Alright, let's take retribution this time, and then we'll get merciful. You pierce through their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He's wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. Underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord. Okay. So let's do this again and then we'll do another, Death of the Day off. Let her stay a while. Let him go. Okay, so we're gonna forgive them this time. You release the underling. Killing them won't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Okay, so I've unlocked Merciless. Overlord's True End. Okay, interesting. Before we're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True End, you say to yourself. What was the point of all my effort if the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you shouldn't have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast, started to relate to their flaws, their plights, started wishing for their happiness. Alright, listen. Totally get where you're coming from, Dev, but I am not the person, because I relish in this kind of shit. I'm like, yeah, true end, okay, sure. But you aren't going to find that in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Like, there's a reason that Enoshima Junko is my favorite, Danon character. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Okay, let's reset. Alright, let's take a look at our ends here. True end, bad end. We have a couple more that we gotta do. Involved in a plot to dethrone the Lord. Disloyal. Okay, if we're not disloyal, let's see what we can do here. Granted the day off, polite. Brings the maiden to the castle. Disloyal. Alright, the disloyal one puts us on this path. If we do the loyal one, I guess, then it puts us on this one. So we need you to be polite, you to be diplomatic, and you to be possessive. Okay. Let's make you possessive. Let's make you diplomatic and you polite. And then it doesn't matter for you, but... Alright. I love the underlings thing. So as a favor to ask, consider your options. Let's hear her out. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed this would be possible to understand each other before now. Maiden's going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what she gathers, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time to take a nap. Alright. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you. Before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Her claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered and you already knew how things like this end. It's a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Okay. Let's see. Let's do some of the hero ones. We only have 2 of his endings right now. Alright, so let's see here. I could get this one, maybe? Yeah, I could get over here. Hero apologizes for what he's done. Hero finds the maiden. Overlord is upset. Hero slaughters his way through the castle. Hero apologizes for what he's done. Okay, well we could do... Alright, how about this? So, flees. Okay, he flees, he's diplomatic. Overlord's room, everything is fine. And then we can go here. Overlord behavior possessive. Okay, so let's make the Overlord possessive, and then I think we just need our own stuff. Alright, so we need her to be possessive, and then let's go. Okay. So let's flee like a coward. Diplomatic. Okay. The Overlord and the maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Interesting, okay. Let's do this first, and then we'll do the next one. You lunge forward, driving the blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You're remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero end. Okay. Got that one. So we're not gonna be heroic this time. We're gonna just okay. Ask the maiden what's going on. The maiden explained she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, reassure her of everyone's safety. But the Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like this. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping on you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed those evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero. Okay. We haven't gotten his true end yet, and I think we might need a couple of other things before we can do that. Let's try a lock. Alright. Hero tries to slay the Overlord. Heroic, bad end. Hero apologizes for what he's done. So, okay, Hero slays the demons, slaughters his way through the castle, she's upset, and then he apologizes. Okay, alright, yeah, we could do that. Let's disconnect that. Alright, slay them. Cut through the demon army. You gather your courage, this is what must be done, blah blah blah. Okay. That's what you tell yourself as you kill one after the other on your way to the Overlord's chambers. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening? You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. She explains she came here on her own, and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door, to see her army of lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Okay. Is this gonna take me to a different one? No, right? You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think that you probably deserve this. Tragic hero. Okay. Okay, maiden Overlord is upset, apologizes, tries to slay, goes over to here. Okay, cool. I might have to do some maiden ends, because I need some more maiden stuff. I can do pretty much whatever with the Overlord, because I've unlocked all her stuff. Alright, so for this one... Disloyal... How do I get up here? Oh, it's... okay, it's if he's diplomatic, and she's possessive. Okay. No, light, diplomatic, and possessive. Alright. Right. Alright, let's see how we can have this one go. Hear her out. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. Aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you figure this is as good a chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. Maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. That wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle? You're the new Overlord. Okay, heroic Underland ending. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we have this one. What do we need over here? Okay, Underling begins their story. Granted the day off. also do it this way. Okay, hungry. Underling returns to the castle, and if he's dutiful, he'll probably kill us. It's the castle, Underling confirms, and to kill the Overlord. Alrighty, let's do this one then. So we need, we don't necessarily need Tyrant. I mean, we could. Okay, let's do this. So let's devours the maiden, and then we need him to be dutiful. Okay, so we need Tyrant and dutiful. Tyrant, dutiful. Forget what we're doing. Let's not. Okay. The others nod but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still going to be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. Okay. Okay, favor to ask. We're gonna eat her. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. Start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought and feel quite proud of that. Okay, finding an audience. Haven't even done anything yet. Nah, we're gonna leave. Okay. Okay. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that the hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk! Ooh, okay. Let's avenge your fallen comrades. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some kind of maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. Tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero's overtaken. Your army has won. You have earned your rest. Victorious Underling. Nice. Okay. Let's go back to that same... that same choice. So let's not... Let's eat her. Go back to the castle. Okay, save yourself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons. Or you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep dark forest somewhere. Deserter underling. Ah, okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Underling's getting there. Overlord's getting there. I'm trying to put off the maiden, because the maiden is the one I'm kind of the most interested in. And all her like, romance with the Overlord. I don't think I can do any other... Oh no, I totally can. Alright. Okay, so this one requires the last, like, whatever decision the hero gets, which means I'm gonna need to do stuff with the maiden. But I can get this one. If the underling is a coward and flees... Okay, Tyrant... Tells the underling to have the day off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tells the underling to go back. Well... Yeah, okay. So Tyrant... We need to make the Tyrant decision. Hungry. And then Coward. Okay. Okay, Hungry Coward. And then we're a Tyrant. Okay. Time to get back to work. Okay. Before you know it, everything is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You've choked on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned Overlord. Okay. This is another path to the true end. I need another maiden thing here. Alright, I think I have to do at least one more thing with the maiden. In order to unlock some more stuff. Okay, maiden begins, hungry, and that's it. Okay, that's fair. See, demon suddenly jumps and starts biting you a lot. A lot! How painful! This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You weren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon and to not devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you're swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden. I forgot I was doing... I completely forgot I was doing voices for these. Whoops! Whoops! Alright, Maiden meets the Overlord. Antisocial. Stays with the Overlord a while. Okay. I guess we could also choose to just leave, which opens up a new path. Choose to leave, and then Hero's dutiful, returns to village alone. Okay, let's... Yeah, I guess let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna have her be antisocial, we're gonna choose not to stay. We're gonna have dutiful Hero. And then she goes back to the village alone. Let's do that. Here's dutiful, and she's antisocial. Let's go. Okay, shout for to come save you. Okay, you explain why you've come and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen, and a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like a complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude! You just got here! Alrighty. We're gonna obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood! You're frightened by the sight of him and run away. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You're loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of the hero, they ask? You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't horrible creatures we know them to be. So they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You're burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You didn't like the thought of that. You've always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You're so sorry. Executed maiden. Sick. Alright. Let's take a look at our bad ends here. Okay, so this is if we decide to stay. We don't really have a choice. Oh, no, we do. Okay, dutiful, heroic, and then we have a choice. Let's try that. Let's see if that does it. So we'll say, okay. So we're gonna go antisocial, dutiful, and heroic. You yell, but a hero does not come. Choose to leave? You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but that doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! Okay. So we've already seen this. But then, a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained in dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes toward the Overlord, sword drawn. Ah, martyr. Okay. Let's, not do anything this time. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out his hand to you, saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you back through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Complacent maiden. Okay. Let's see if the Obedient has unlocked some other stuff for us. Let's take a look. Alrighty. So yeah. Okay, we should be able to do some more stuff here. So for example, we can get this one. Tries to slay the Overlord. Maiden behavior, martyr. We're not gonna do that just yet. Okay. Okay, alright. So let's see. We start off antisocial. We can do either of these. They both go to the same ending, but I feel like we need this in order to... Let's do this one first, because this one opens up this new path. We get an option. And then we can go from there. I'd like to finish the hero first, and then the underling, and then the Overlord, and then the maiden. Is how I want to try and do it. We'll see if I can do that. Alright. Cool. So, antisocial, slay the demons, obedient. Okay, and then I get this end. Alright, cool. We're gonna do obedient, antisocial. Okay. So we're gonna be dutiful. On the way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. And she runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator, hero, and B. Alright. So for this time, same stuff, but we're gonna talk to the maiden. Okay. We're gonna flee. Okay. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Ah, interesting, okay. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad that took care of itself. Take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake, and the crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice, though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house. But you can't escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for the role. Spectator, hero, ending A. Alright. Okay, so here we can decide to believe the maiden's story. And then we come down here and there's two things that we haven't gotten yet. So I think we're just gonna go probably automatically to this end, maybe? Because we don't have these. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's try that. Flee. Leave her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel like you should trust her. Tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone's been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for their bravery. The maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle with how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers, and you're too busy to think about what a great, reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately, and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. Figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kinda intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting at you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. Can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her, talk to the demons in order to clear up the misunderstanding. You valiantly dash off after the maiden, toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now. You think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No. Going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystander hero A. Okay. Let's try to look. Okay, so he's at 7 now. Alright. Let's come over to you. Trusting. Alright. So, brings maiden to the castle. Okay, so we need disloyal, antisocial, obedient, trusting. Okay. Alright. Because you only have 2 more. One of them is going to be this, which is whatever her final thing is. Okay. Alright. Cool. Let's do it. Let's... I'm really granted the day off. Brings me into the castle. Okay, so we need disloyal for you, antisocial, obedient, and trusting. Okay. Trusting, obedient, antisocial. Perfect. Demon Underling! Okay, let's kill the Overlord. Okay. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Ah! Use the maiden for killing practice. This is this is just the way it has to be, you declare, before jumping her and clawing her guts out. Turns out you're already an expert on ending lives. Your friends call you a show-off. You go back to the castle to wash off the icky human blood. As you're finishing up, you hear sounds of a battle outside. The hero has come, seeing the dead maiden must have made him pretty angry. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. Spot the Overlord and the hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. Can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but that doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that one day they'll betray you as they betrayed your Overlord. Okay, so Lord Underling A. So let's go to the same thing again and then we'll... Okay. Lord of Quitter yelling. Disloyal. Captor. House her in the dungeon. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden's very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now our hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice!" and other such cliché hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by the sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might work out in your favor. Wait for things to die down outside, spot the Overlord, okay. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta take a look. I think I have to change one of these. Okay, disloyal and captor will mean that I can do this one. Okay. So we need antisocial, please, obedient, leaves the story, disloyal, and captor. Okay. Disloyal, captor, antisocial, trusting. Alright. Here we go. Leave her story. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up. So demons truly are evil beings after all. You demand they take her to you, but they don't let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you can rush into the castle alone. You're the only one who could save the maiden now. What the fuck are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. Clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero. Okay. Alright. Let's take a look at what we got. Need this one. I can get this one. Oh, for the martyr ending. Okay. Well, I want to see that from her perspective first. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll do it from his perspective first, and then we'll go from there. And then I need to unlock her final thing so I can get the rest. Okay. Alright, so we need to get to the martyr thing, so we need her to be martyr. Dutiful, dutiful, heroic, martyr. Okay. Okay. Dutiful. Okay. Alright. Destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes at you in a vengeful rage. You parry, and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. Look at your hands, your clothes. Blood. So much blood. You look at the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the Overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. Pick up the Overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your long journey back to town. They'll say that you were too late, and nothing could be done for the girl, but the Overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Loyal hero end. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these last two endings are, I need this. I need this last thing from the maiden. I need this last thing from the maiden. Actually, these I could totally get. Alright, let's see. So, we let her have the day off. Let them have the day off. We're antisocial. She's obedient. Weakens. Disloyal. Trusting. Okay. So, obedient, disloyal, trusting is what I need the other ones on. That doesn't matter. We need to be antisocial. Okay. And disloyal, trusting. Obedient, disloyal, trusting. Okay. Alright, so it doesn't really matter. We'll give them the day off. Antisocial. Okay. Maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. You wake up to the sounds of a battle. The hero is cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons! Shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all! You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. Girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again, but the hero is not going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move, when one of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but couldn't they see that this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. The servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. You've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. I can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Betrayed Overlord A. Okay. Underling means that. Martyr. We'll do Martyr for you, and then you. Oh, we can get all of your endings now. Heroic. Okay. Diplomatic and heroic. Lets the underling have the day off. Allows the maiden to stay in chat. Okay, so we're not antisocial and we're not a tyrant. He has to be diplomatic and heroic. Okay. Diplomatic and heroic. I don't think the underling matters. Okay. Grant them the day off. Let her stay. Okay. He suddenly strikes, cutting through you with his blade. He didn't even hesitate. You've gone soft. How could you have let your guard down like that? How unfair. After all you've done to avoid this outcome, you can't outrun your destiny. Hero always slays the Overlord. You never should have trusted a human. As you watch, the hero escorts the maiden out of your castle. Captured by a demon. At least she got what she came for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Slain Overlord. Okay. Let's do... Alright, I've almost completed Overlord. Okay. Let's go back and do the Martyr ending. I kind of want to save it though, because it's like, it's so good. It's so full of like Jess Place. Okay. Alright, so let's try and get a couple other of these. We should be able to unlock whatever this choice is. We go up here. Okay. Meets the Overlord, antisocial, obedient, trusting. This is if it's... Okay, disloyal but not a captor. Okay. Well, we have a couple ones that we can do over on this side, I guess. So let's get this one, these two first. So we'll do antisocial, trusting, disloyal. Antisocial, disloyal, trusting. Okay. Introduce yourself. Obey her. Okay, encounter the hero, ask her doing, and everything that happened. It's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. Two of you returned to the village hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and are very glad the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. Villagers seemed confused and looked to the hero for explanation. Tells him that he only ran into you on the way to the castle, and this really isn't his story to tell. You explain to them that you met the Overlord, and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the demon overlord immediately. Says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until he returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't even saying anything. He'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Oh, interesting, okay. Okay, grab the hero and run. Resolute. You boldly announce that you're accompanying the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there rather than staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. Talking about assassinating the Overlord! You have to warn her! But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world's better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognized from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very Overlord-like in this moment. The demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. You had just pretended not to hear them if you left as you were told. Only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Devout Maiden ending. Okay. So we unlock the last thing here. You have a favorite ending, or is it still too early to decide? I think I'm gonna like the one where she martyrs herself the best. I also like the one where she, like, runs back. And, okay. I didn't mean to go this route, and then I did anyway. Alright, whatever. That's fine. I should be able to finish you now. Let's see. So, we can get his true end. Maiden overhears the underling's plot to kill the Overlord and goes back to warn her. Merciful. Alright, so we're not gonna make you merciful this time. Because that's his true end, so we'll do that. Alright, so we need... antisocial, obedient. We need to be trusting. Resolute, and disloyal. And then she... and then not merciful for this one, because we want to go up here. Okay, cool. Let's see. So we need her to be obedient and resolute. We need you to be disloyal, you to be antisocial. Okay. I'm not killing, because I have to get on that one track. Okay. Lee. Leave her story. Okay, as you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her. She has a much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits! When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance. You can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And these same creatures have just noticed you, eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what she just overheard. The demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by a group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low could they be? You begin shouting at them, while the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells at everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. The Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. Glance at each other for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. Next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws in its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this? You envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. Resigned hero end. Alright, nice. We should be able to get his true end now. We also should be able to do the underlings as well. So if we make her merciful, then that should finish him out. And then we should be able to go here. If she's resolute, then we can go here, and if she's merciful, we can go here. Alright, so let's, I guess do this one next? Well, or we can do this and just click merciful and finish the hero out, you know what I mean? Okay. So, begins his story, flees from the demons. Okay, antisocial, flees, obedient, trusting, resolute, disloyal, and then she's merciful. Alright. Merciful. Okay, cool. Yep, that's what we need. Okay. Here we go. Hero true end. Also, yes, I have noticed that when you get on the tracks that are closer to, like, the quote-unquote true end, everything becomes less like one color and variations of it palette, and becomes more, has different hues, which I think is really cool. Your story. Okay. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Hero's true end. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... A letter flutters down from behind the curtain. You found Lost Letter 1. Oh. How do I look at the letter? Hey, okay. My love. It just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this. It's unreasonable, cruel. If I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, I decided to write. And I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then, maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Oh, interesting, okay. So, like, the Tragedy mask is actually, like, a character. Interesting! I like that. Cool. Okay, so I can get another letter if I finish these. So if I unclick Merciful here, trusting, antisocial, obedient, resolute, disloyal. This doesn't matter. Okay, so he's got to be trusting, she has to be obedient and resolute. And she has to be antisocial. Okay. So uncheck that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Alright. Demon. Okay, disloyal. Okay. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Fuck! The Overlord will kill you for sure if she finds out you were conspiring to take her out. Dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up. Except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you! They cry that it was all your idea and that you were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. Can't believe they told the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. Doubt her strength. You hear the traitor's friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. And the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat, you cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. The Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it click. Traitor Underling. Alright. Okay, so we have that one. And so this time we're going to make her merciful. And that will make it... Okay. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden's crying. The hero is silent. They'll all burn together. Underling's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found Lost Letter 3. We'll read all these once I have them. Alright, so... Maiden still has a bunch of undone stuff, so let's get her stuff out of the way. Everything you've done has only hurt them more. Good! That's what I'm here for! I'm here for the pathos, baby! Possessive, disloyal. Okay. I want to save this one, because that's going to be some good Jess plays. Yeah, let's do these ones I was going to do before. Alright. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, return alone, disloyal. Okay. Disloyal, trusting, antisocial. Okay. Alright. We can be polite, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Obedient. Okay. Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anybody's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it's gotta be. They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret ever having trusted the demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered Maiden. Okay. So we come over here, and we make you also a captor. Okay. They immediately notice you overheard them, and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. I believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell block back at your village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible! Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls above. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Imprisoned Maiden. Okay. I need to check, like, where I am here. A martyr ending. We'll do that one right after I do the true end here. Okay. Antisocial. You defy that. Diplomatic. Possessive. Okay, so we can get Possessive 1 and then Possessive Disloyal. So let's do Possessive 1. Diplomatic, Antisocial, and Possessive. Alright, cool. Okay, we'll be polite this time. Use to leave. Okay. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you are never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief about the whole misunderstanding and hadn't had any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone news of your safety. But the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Has she really been lying to you all along? You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine plan? The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Hot. Alright, and then let's get the ending B. Okay. But the Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide to never leave home again for the rest of your life. Escaped Maiden B. Okay, let's see. We're close. We're close, everybody. Okay, we've got True End, and we've got the Martyr End. I'm gonna do the True End first, to be honest, because I think the Martyr End is probably gonna be more my speed. So let's see, how do we get there? So we can do... Maiden meets the Overlord. Stays with the Overlord. Stays with the Overlord. Diplomatic. Disloyal. Goes back to warn her. You must be really enjoying my tragedies. I am, thank you. And then she's merciful. Okay. So we need you to be merciful. We need him to be diplomatic. And we need you to be disloyal. Okay. Disloyal, diplomatic, and merciful. Okay. Okay. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Maiden's True End. I'm gonna keep collecting bad endings for now. Okay. I've gotten all the true endings, but I want all the endings. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do the one I really want to do. True end. Where does this go? Oh, I see. Okay. Alright. So, what do we need to get here? Meets the Overlord, stays with the Overlord for a while. Dutiful, heroic. Okay. Alright. Okay. Dutiful and heroic. Alright. Okay. Projector. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined that this would be the way you'd die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You're glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out alright for your new friend. Sacrificial Maiden. Letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. Lost letter 2. Okay, let's reset the stage. Okay, so here's what we gotta do. We gotta get our last end, the Overlord. Lets the Overling have the day off, allows her to stay in chat. Beautiful, heroic, martyr. Okay. Alright, let's brought back some company, goes on blah 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 blah, she seems disappointed. Stay. Can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden's getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underling's roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? Hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle really has taken it out of you. That hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for the hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The maiden shouts something behind you, and you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest and she falls to the floor, lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. This hero has taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been sated. You go on to destroy them all and become ruler of the entire world. Vengeful Overlord A. Letter flutters down from behind the curtain. Okay, let's reset the stage. Let's read our letters. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this? It's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write. And I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then, maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right, I've opened my very own theater. You'd be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you, to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought, if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it, wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should those poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications. And yet, you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day even now. I wonder if, somewhere, you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Okay. It's time for the end game. Congratulations, you've explored every path I had to offer. Thanks for playing. Alright, here we go. Can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? I mean, this is funny because, like, for me personally, I'd be pretty satisfied if the game ended here. If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Ooh, okay. Hero, on fire. Maiden, on fire. Underling, on fire. Overlord, on fire. Can you actually... No, you can't select them. You are... Question mark, question mark, question mark? The hero is burning. Maiden is burning. The underling is burning. The overlord is burning. Okay. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. Oh, I see. We're just gonna Mary Sue it. Okay. You didn't know you could do that. What's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are... you. But why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. I guess it's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi, guys. You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be... For God? Nah, you're merely the player. If there was a god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these RPGs go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story, how passé! You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way into the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide by you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. I want to see something new. You trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? That's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. Stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. I'm gonna defend. Try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautifully tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? Yeah, in the best way. You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. Yeah, basically. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. Yeah, I like watching them suffer. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. Can't do this alone. Oh, okay. So depending on how many... Alright, let's summon... You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. You're... how can you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. Wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that, yeah, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I can make a living as a tailor rather than a hero? Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. Really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Okay. Willpower and justice. Happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. And perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I'd meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst for the story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so... You ask what it is she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden's confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt she belonged. The true end for the maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this terrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. And this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. I have plenty of HP. I can summon everybody. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underlings on guard duty as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life, never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. There's a way that work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. Underling, you must really be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. Huh? If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Oh, but it won't be that easy. Attacks with a terrible fate. Okay. Let's get the Overlord. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come here to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. Can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. I realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change your fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. Ah, you've brought the Overlord! I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha ha ha! I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Now that the whole party here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me! Alright. I'm gonna say... willpower. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. Hero uses willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. I'm gonna say kindness. Maiden tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive, I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty. Okay. So hope for her. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. She hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy's reeling. Okay. I think tenacity is probably what the underling is. Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. Underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy's reeling. And ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take aim toward your best possible futures. You all unleash your final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Here's the problem, though, is, like, you do need both, right? Like, the tragic comedy thing, you do need both of them. You've done it! You've managed to defeat me! A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it! I must thank you for all your fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, Hero, starring Hero as himself. Thank you, Maiden, starring Maiden as herself. Thank you, Underling, starring Underling as themselves. Thank you, Overlord, starring Overlord as herself. Enough of this nonsense, we defeated you, so die already! Oh, don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Written and produced by Tragedy. Defeated by you! Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad Amphitheater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I never do. I don't feel bad about antagonizing characters. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. Let's say no, because we want them to be reunited with comedy. Well, I did my best. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Oh, okay, maybe that was the wrong thing. Alright, so we got Hiro, he's being a tailor, he's hung up his cape and stuff. Okay. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here. Curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? It's because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing Gaspu. I should have warned you, but this might affect what you think of my stories. Can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. That is true. Would you like to hear, not another ending, but the truth? Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there's no such thing as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out, to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone. Another girl. Running theme, isn't it? Maiden and the Overlord. The two were inseparable for a time. Everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That's the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all. Where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything's okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. Thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such an idiot. I could say the same to you. I knew you could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I'd be drawn to a place like this. Yeah, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. This is funny, because this is kind of like my girlfriend and me. where like we do have this whole thing where she's like, oh yeah, this is Jess Place, like just complete like self-indulgent tragedy. You know, let's wallow in the pathos and stuff. And then we have another thing because her name is Stephanie, so we'll call it Stefford, where it's like, you know, things get really bad, but then there's like a thing at the last minute that changes it to good. So it does kind of remind me of my own relationship, which is kind of nice. Now truly everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. All right. So that's it for Bad End Theater. This was fun. I like this. Like I said, I'm a big fan of stuff that's like got this sort of like pathos and things like that. I like the stuff, and obviously I'm always here for gay ladies. But this was super cute. I really liked it. I thought the art was adorable. I thought the little flowchart thing was really helpful. It was especially good because I was just coming off of the more confusing flowchart of Birth Me code. But yeah, this was really cute. I really liked it. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to update last week, but since this is an extra long episode, hopefully that makes up for it. I also kind of like the little like Vocaloid type thing at the very end. With the main theme, I like that there's like that meta story going on. I did think it was really funny that they were like, oh, you're gonna self-insert into the story and then, you know, change stuff around, which was fun. So yeah, overall I thought this was really cute. Whenever if this dev makes more stuff, I'll definitely be playing it. I paid for this. I don't remember what it costs, but I remember paying more for it than the asking price because I was like, yeah, this looks adorable. So yeah, I definitely will keep an eye on this dev. If they release more stuff, I'll definitely be playing it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And this was really satisfying. I liked it a lot. I feel bad. I thought I was going for an ending thing with the with the one part. Now I feel bad. I made the thing sad. But yeah, it was good. What is it? Next time, we'll be starting something new. I haven't decided yet what we're going to be doing. Nate has recommended that I play the Famicom mystery games. So if that's something that sounds kind of cool, maybe I'll do that. The only issue with that is like, cause God, recording stuff from my consoles is kind of a pain because of how I have to set up my room, because there's only like one and like a quarter walls in this room that are not also doors. That's Japan, baby. So I'll have to figure out how I want to handle this, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do it anyway and just kind of like drag my PC over like when we stream from my place. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do some other stuff. If there's something that you're like absolutely dying to watch me play, let me know. In terms of other things, like I can't remember what the heck it's called. Kimi ga Shine. I know that I saw a tweet from Monkey Die not too long ago that was like he's working on the game again. He took a break for a while because he was doing some stuff for like the manga or something, I think. So that'll be back at some point. We'll do that when that comes out. There's a lot of stuff that we can go through. But yeah. Alright, everybody. Sounds good. Take it easy. Have a wonderful week. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Enjoy. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.